don't worry about it. Don't worry about being live. Just don't mention anybody's name for the next hour. That's all I ask. You mentioned the team. I think you can also mention AI Success Live because we work closely with Fugazi. So, oh, oh, it came into the live. That was included. Hey, we went live. Anyway, um, morning. I'm gonna put my camera on in a moment. I didn't get to do my makeup. I'm preparing myself. I'm just gonna go out there barefaced. So guys, just let me make sure you guys can hear me. Webcam. Yeah. Clients losing leads. So we're trying to help people stop losing their leads. So we need to think about what systems we can put in place, right? So, okay. So we have a diagram usually where we talk about how funnels work. And in our diagram, we have, oh, let me switch cameras to this nicer camera. Yeah, in a diagram, we have, let me see if I can open it, in fact. We have our process. And if you remember, guys, we do the whole, let me log in. Yeah, we need to clean up this puzzle, man, because, okay, this is that. Welcome to those who are joining our live. Thank you for joining us. It's like a work of our session. We do this every Thursday where we just kind of build our business, work on some client work. Of course, protecting GDPR, you can't know people's details, so you keep that secret. But we're solving various problems for our clients. And today we're focusing on losing leads and how to help people stop losing leads. So we're actually trying to look at the different processes that we put in place to help a client stop losing their leads, because it's a very, very important factor. I don't think we didn't create a funnel we didn't create that workspace. So let me create the workspace now, Winner, for delivery. Delivery. Yeah.
Right.
Now within delivery, the first thing we have, oh, first thing we have in delivery is email, not email, is let's just put processes. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see. So everybody needs to know this. Anyway, we know this, but I'm going to put a diagram so we always have it at the forefront of our minds. Funnel basis or funnel overview, right? I've done this diagram before, but I'll do it again just to make it clear. And I asked you guys the other day about this. So if you like, embarrass yourselves alive and forget. Muna, what's the first step we said it was? Do you remember? If you want, you can type it to me just in case. You don't remember? We did this the other day.
Attract.
Precious, you said it, but I can't hear you.
Is it attract or engage? Not sure.
Precious said it, so write it down. Attract. That is what we usually call lead generation. Yay. That is the purpose of lead generation, to get somebody to be to connect with whatever you're doing. After attract, we usually have, Una, do you remember now?
Engage.
Oh, I think it switched my microphone to my speakers to my head. You want to say something again?
Engage.
Thank you. Engage. So engage is the second step. After attract, we then focus on engaging. It's time I go live on TikTok. My camera's not looking fancy. My phone camera. Sometimes the phone camera doesn't look that nice. But we'll still go, we'll still do it, we'll still go, we're still going. So attract. Then as we said, the second,
Attract, engage, nurture.
yeah, attract, engage. Sorry, my Slack and everything is opened. Yeah, I don't want to do this step. So it's attract, engage, and engage is usually done through our free offer / lead magnet. So it depends on who you are, that will determine what that is. So yeah, and then as you guys would know, nurture.
Then converts.
Yep, then convert. Convert / close, that's like the more official term. So nurture could be strategy call or / email marketing, or it could even be follow-up calls. So whatever you're doing to kind of nurture that interest, and then you've got convert, right? So with every single client, this is our focus. This is what we're trying to do for their funnel. This is for their sales. This is what we kind of work towards. And this could be brochure / closing call. It depends on, it's different for everybody. So you've got attract, engage, nurture, convert. Today, what we're talking about is losing leads, right? So people generally, they're quite good at the attract. They're running ads, clients are coming in, all of that is smooth, it's nice and good. They're engaged, their lead magnet is great. Sometimes there's a break between attract and engage. So we had this with our therapist client, Muna, remember? When they were doing the quiz and people would fill out the quiz. But when we checked the data, not a lot of people were actually clicking the download. It was like they were getting the quiz, but they weren't looking at it. They were getting the results, but they weren't opening the results. So it's like, there's no point of her running ads and people signing up to her lead magnet if nobody's going to actually look at the results they're getting. The whole idea of you trying to run your lead magnet and have clients signing up to what you're doing is so that they would open your download or whatever the case may be. And then a lot of people, they lose leads because when you go from engage to nurture, that's a problem. Well, not a problem, but there's a gap there as well, right? So what we're talking about today is how do we help people who are stuck in engage or stuck in nurture, right? So um, Favor, Muna, Precious, you guys have worked with clients on these things, and we need to think about, with some of the examples of what we've done, how have we been able to help people increase their nurture? So perfect example we've got, I was saying it earlier, we had a problem at one point, yeah, where we were running ads. We had a lot of people signing up to the ads, and Junior would book them into appointments, and on the day of the appointment, like nobody would show up, right? Liz has a very strong rule. So let's focus on, which one shall we focus on? Let's focus on engage. Liz has a very, very, very strong rule. So let's just type in engage. Liz has a very strong rule whereby if somebody comes in from an ad, right? So ad, and then the person has come in from the ad, let's say, opt-in page/form. Yeah, there's usually an opt-in page/form. Then again, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, we would usually do like a confirmation email, whatever they've signed up for, here's confirmation, right? So let's click down here and do confirmation email. Now, one thing that I've recognized is the danger of confirmation email favors what? What's the problem we have sometimes when it's confirmation emails? Eva, are you with me?
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
my
you didn't realize
network was lagging. Sorry.
Yeah, so what's the problem we have? What's the problem we usually have when we, when we were doing the Rest Revolution, what was the problem we were having with confirmation emails and stuff like that?
Not getting to their inbox.
Spam. So, um, we've got two situations with that. Obviously, one of the ways to mitigate against that is to make sure you do email warming. But another way that we found has been really helpful, which is optional, is to do a confirmation text. So, for example, a confirmation text, so a text that includes a check your spam message, right? So you send a confirmation text that also says check your spam. Now, guys, we can take this a step further. We can actually say, have it on the system. If the person doesn't open, and I think we should actually start doing this. If the person doesn't open the email again after 2 days, send another text. Does that make sense? So we put wait 2 days. No. Wait 2 days, right? If the person opens the email opened, nothing's done, right? Hold on a second. We don't actually need this. So if we wait 2 days, if the email is opened, nothing needs to be done. If the person opens up the email and says, oh, we can check on the system, nothing needs to be done, yeah? If the person doesn't open the email,
After 2 days.
email not opened, after 2 days, email not opened. Oh, snap, sorry. Email not opened. We send them follow-up text, another text prompting them to open the email. Another text prompting them to open their email. Yeah? So it means, you took it to me or you took it to, share your comment. You want to, one of those want to tell us what she's saying. All right. Another thing that we can do that
You said
Liz
text. You said text or email. Follow email or text.
What do you
I think
mean?
the boats can go out.
Okay. No, you used
No, but there's no
email
point
and
of
then
setting. No, there's no point of setting up a follow-up email if somebody hasn't opened the first email. They're just not. You're sending them an email to the email they've not opened already.
No, what I'm asking is, you said after 2 days you send a text. So I'm saying, is it supposed to be text? Like
Or
when you say
email.
text, are you referring to email, text, or a text message?
SMS.
SMS.
So
Okay.
follow-up SMS. But again, guys, this is where WhatsApp becomes useful. WhatsApp would be even better because you can even check if the person is actually going to open their WhatsApp. Muna?
If we have their WhatsApp, that means we can give them a call also. Is that so?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, but a call. Oh, why do you keep doing this? What's going on here? Why is it opening another section on top of the section? Come on, don't be weird. So I was gonna say up here, this is something that Liz always recommends. I think is really important. That oh, it's just too high. I got to move the whole thing down. Um, Liz always says it's really important, especially from an ad. Call them, call them, call them, call them. So most of the time, we're trying to get them to the nurture. So to maybe a strategy call or maybe a discovery call. That's what they're trying to get them onto a call most of the time. We recommend you just call them to get them on that call straight away, whether they open the email or not. You have a call. So oh yeah, right. Um, so what am I looking for? Um, so follow up call. Hey, how many L's is that? Three. Follow up call. Can you see? So follow up call. Usually the end goal is somewhere down the line. We're trying to get a what's the word? A discovery slash strategy call. Usually, right? But it doesn't matter what it is at the end. We're just trying to get there. So sometimes you can do a follow-up call straight. Oh, don't like it like that. Follow-up call, or Muna, what's the other name? What did you do the other day?
Qualifying calls.
Qualifying call. So sometimes we could just do straight qualifying call, straight to discovery call. Obviously, as you guys can see, this is actually probably smarter and faster, but you know, it's an extra cost. If somebody wants to do that, they have to have the resources to be able to send a qualifying call. But this is so you can actually go from ad, the person opts in, and you just call them, which is actually if you want to get a quicker sale, it's actually quicker. It's a lot more straightforward. Then we're going to talk about how to get somebody once you book them in, um, booked in. But the booking in to showing up, that's a whole nother nurturing process. But can you see when we want someone to opt in, whatever happens here, usually, right, we're doing email marketing, right? When somebody signs up, we're now doing email marketing, and we want the email marketing to get them to go to the discovery call, isn't it? Oh, book a call, book a clarity call, book a whatever call. But this is the problem. If the person is not even checking the confirmation email or checking, if they're not even getting the email because it's going to spam, all of the rest of the emails, again, this is the problem we've had before, Muna. That's the problem we had with the first ad for that client because all of their emails were not really going where they should go. Yeah. So that's like one of the problems that we want to address. So these are standard option. So this is what most people do. Most people just do an opt-in form and then they do a confirmation email, and that's it. Some people sign up with not Squarespace, Score App, and that's what Score App give you by default, an email that goes to people when they fill in your form. Some people do a webinar with some another platform, and this is what they give them by default, an email to say, come to the Zoom webinar. Does that make sense? But that's not good enough follow-up. The reason why people are losing leads is because they stop at 1, 2, and 3. That's the only steps they have. We're saying what's worked is you do a qualifying call, you also send a text. This is the most important thing, that text and then that other text if the email's not opened. And then once they open the email, this will take you all the way back to, oh, let me put something in between. Access, lead magnet, and then email marketing. Does that make sense? But the moment the person has found a way to access the lead magnet, we hope that the follow-up SMS, we hope that this SMS will also take them here. If it doesn't, then the follow-up SMS might take them there. We can only hope. But we have things in place to make sure. What's this? Okay, I'll move it along there then, fine. Am I making sense to you guys? So, like I said, 1, 2, and 3 is what you have by default. And this is the difference between what we do for our clients and what clients do for themselves. What a client will do for themselves is they'll just set this up. Yeah, sure, I got my funnel. Oh, how does it work? My ad takes them to my page. When they sign up to the page, they get an email. And they think, and they're wondering why did I have 500 people sign up, but only 20 people showed up? Only 20 people downloaded because you stopped here. Does that make sense? What we do, Precious or Junior would do a call. Junior would call every time. Even though there's a download, even though there's a whole, he calls every time. Now, let me put a caveat in here. Again, this is very important. This is very important to Liz. Within 12 hours. That call needs to be made within 12 hours. It's not a call you can make a week later. If you make that call too late, you're almost going back from the beginning. It's taking you backwards. So that call, Muna, you agreeing? Because yeah, you've had to make calls to people, and by the time you've made a call too late, it's like, who are you? What is it again? What did I sign up for again? I don't remember. Or what is it again? They don't even remember what they signed up for. Something they signed up for 2 days ago. They've already forgotten what it was. So again, this is a process. I wish I had a way, but I'm not upgrading the account to that. But I wish I had a way to kind of highlight, and I'm going to put it as this actually. Mona, if you don't mind, when you've got some time, actually, Favor, you go in and do it. If you can go into the puzzle and just add Ken Blue, just add the logo, go to Tool, go to Ken Blue, to all the
Alright, sure.
extras. So all the
Okay.
extra stuff that we do. So these three, people, no, this 1, 2, no, take off confirmation email, not confirmation email. That's usually done by the client by default. The extras, and this kind of highlights what people are paying for. Somebody would say, oh, what are you coming to do that's going to help me make more money? I'm adding a qualifying call to your process. I'm adding a confirmation text to make sure that somebody opens. I'm adding a 2-day wait period, and then I'm adding another text if the person doesn't open. Does that make sense? And again, there's nothing wrong with, after those 2 days again, adding another call. Nothing wrong with that. Especially when it's a freebie. When it's a freebie, you have to do a bit more chasing up because you're losing money every time somebody doesn't follow up for the freebie. If you charge them for like a ebook that was like $20 or £20, it's not the end of the world if they don't, what's the word? If they don't download your ebook, because at least you made some change back. It's like, oh, right, fair enough. I made some change. It's not ideal, but it's not a complete loss. Does that make sense? So the whole idea, the whole notion, what we're looking to try and do is to make sure that whatever we put out there, whatever we work with, whatever we set up is done this way. That's for Engage. Again, we've done a tract, we've gotten people to come in. The person said, oh yeah, I saw the ad, or they've got the email. We should actually do another one for cold email, right? And I'm going to ask you guys for your suggestion. Give me a moment. I just want to actually post the links onto the social media platforms before I forget. But there's a ex-client of ours who we did some great work for, but because of their own impatience, they didn't actually see it through. About 300 emails were sent out. Out of that 300, about 100 were opened, and about 16 businesses clicked to go and see their page. One moment. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? It was, they were working with Abdul Salam. Yeah, you remember who that is? Yeah. So what ended up happening was 100 plus emails went out, about 100 people opened the emails, 16 people clicked the link. Right? I was talking to somebody about it this morning. And we're going to do a session at 11 o'clock around data and making decisions with data. But the whole idea is you're looking at people's behavior and you're using people's behavior to kind of determine what's probably happening. So what we could tell from what was happening, guys, is they read the email, they said, this is interesting. They clicked the link to go and find out about the company and turned around and said, maybe not. Does that make sense? Now, that could have been because the company's website was so bad, or maybe the information wasn't clear enough. Maybe the information in the email and the information on the website didn't match. We had another situation where we were running ads, you guys will remember, Muna, at the end of last year, and people weren't really signing up. Then the moment we added a bio about the business owner, signups increased because I guess people didn't want to give their details. It was personal details they were giving. They didn't want to tell, they were like, who is this person? Who's behind this? We don't know them. Putting in, just posting the stuff online so people can join us. Yeah, so that is like an important thing to kind of consider. So let's talk about cold emails now. And I'm going to kind of ask you guys for some ideas based on some stuff that you've seen. We don't actually need to add this follow-up call. It's okay. So this one would be engage. And this one would be engage from ad. The next one would be, we're going to do underneath it, engage from cold email, right? So Favor, Muna, Precious, let's imagine a cold email's gone out. We sent 100 emails. Yeah. From the 100 emails that we sent out. So let's do engage cold email. So obviously, yeah, the way I'm putting this phone for this live is, yeah, this might be a bit easier for me. I'm trying to hold my phone on TikTok. I'm looking a bit crazy. Stop moving. I usually use a stand, but I'm using the stand for my camera for the YouTube, but it doesn't matter. All right, so the first step in this funnel is the email, right?
Cold email.
So email, so cold email. So, Favor, what are the options? What can happen from a cold email?
Booking a call.
No, as in literally, email goes out. What are the options and what can happen?
Open.
Thank you.
Is that
So
what you
what's the
mean?
worst one? What's the worst one?
Goes to their spam.
Good spam.
Well, which is basically
Unsubscribe.
ignore. Thank you, Muna. The worst one is unsubscribe.
Okay.
Even if you don't open it, unsubscribe is the worst one. Unsubscribe is what we don't want. So I'll put it in there. Unsubscribe, but there's nothing you can do after that. If they have unsubscribe, charge it. Let it go. Unsubscribe. Then the other one we don't want either, Muna, is what them guys have said, which is it's not been opened. I don't like how that arrow's coming out. So unsubscribed, not opened. It's a bit to the side. There we go. I like this one. I prefer this one. Yeah, unsubscribed can be there. Unsubscribed. Then there's unsubscribe. There's bounce. There's hard bounce. All of that stuff. That's what. Yeah. What can we do? Unsubscribe. We leave that. Nothing we can do. Then there's not open, right? Then there's favor. What's after open? What's after not open?
Open. Clicked.
Yeah, why are you thinking about it so much? Open. Why are you
Okay.
overthinking it? Not open, open.
Clicked.
And then what did you say?
Clicked.
Clicked.
Exactly, clicked. There's clicked, then there's replied. Replied, you have to play by ear. Replied, what is this? What did it just do? What's this? What's puzzle? Sometimes it's a bit crazy. So but Mona, this is what I was talking about. If we create all these different processes, we've already got them, but if we have them set up like this, it makes it a lot easier to explain to clients anyway. So if we have open, then you said clicked, and last
Is
but not least
clicking
is
still
replied.
replied? Okay.
Now, replied and clicked are slightly different. Now, clicked and opened, they're interesting. Replied. Now, depending on the reply, you could just reply back. So replied is not really much of a, there's not much discussion on replied. Whatever they reply, you just reply back like a normal email. So we'll just put that at the bottom here. Obviously, the whole idea is clicked means that they're going to engage. Now, there's an option. Clicked usually means they're going to engage with whatever the lead magnet is, isn't it? So engage lead magnet, whether it's a download, whether it's but we know that they've got the email, so we don't have to worry about them. We don't have to remind them about the email because they're obviously opening the email, right? Then there's obviously clicked, but nothing happened. Yeah. So then there's clicked, but no download. So we won't get to that. Let's start with opened. Now, if we send an email, cold email, and somebody's not opened, what's our options? What do we
Follow
usually
up.
Keep
do?
the open.
Nurturing them.
Yeah, how, Muna? What do we usually do?
Follow up.
We send out an
Email marketing.
Yeah, so
That's
you're using fancy
sending
terms.
out
We just
more
send out another email.
emails.
Yeah, why are you guys making it complicated? Yeah, you just send out another email. You're looking for big terms. You don't need to use anything fancy. Just but what we usually recommend for cold email is usually change subject.
More like A/B
Change the
testing.
email subject. There's no point in sending out another email. Send out the same email. Just change the email subject. Re-email.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You change the subject, re-email. I recommend you do that at least twice within like that same week. You can't take too long.
Oh, wouldn't you have to wait?
No, because they haven't. So usually they've seen the email. Maybe the email, if it's gone to spam, there's nothing you can do. You just have to nurture your email. You can send 20 emails to them. They won't see if it's gone to spam. If it went to the inbox and they saw it, it meant that the subject wasn't compelling enough for them to open it. So sending out an email on the same day, it won't make a difference. I mean, would only make a difference if you change the subject. So remember we said there's an email I told you guys this morning, someone sent us an email saying, I just lost 28 grand, or how I just lost 28 grand. That's I was curious. Oh, like, okay. Now, if they said, come and find out, blah, 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 and I ignored it, then I saw how I lost 28 grand. I'm not going to remember the first one they sent because I didn't even like the first one anyway. So you can still send it within the same 24 hours. I would recommend it within the same 24 hours. Using Code Blue, it lets you do that quite easily. If it's too long, it won't let you do the same email. Obviously, re-email. Then arrow back to here. If it's not opened, again, you just try again. Does that make sense? If it's not open, change subject, re-email. If it's not open, change subject, re-email. That's a cycle
For
there.
how long?
It's I mean, depends. Some people, I would say you don't have to. Why would you stop if they're not opening it? If they unsubscribe, then you just stop. But you have to have an opportunity for them to unsubscribe. You can't leave the email without a button. Like, if you don't want to get emails from us anymore, please click here. Don't not do that, because then they will report your email. So that's a whole nother thing. We have to make sure that's in the place. Don't ever. But Favor, why would you stop? It might mean your email is just not catching their attention. So you email them until it does. Find if you send it too soon, it will be obvious back to back that you're. So if you send it every hour, I don't mean that's gonna be. They'll just be seeing you every hour, and then they're gonna be annoyed. So maybe a couple hours, maybe even a day is okay. Muna, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to remind Favor that was what we did for the counselor. That even after we sent out the first series of email for this first 8 series of email, after that we still added more 8 just to get them to open.
Yeah. And did they open, Muna?
Yes, a few opened it. I think that was where we got the second payment from.
Ah, you mean the relationship lady? Oh, so you again, so the first time you opened it, you sent it, nobody really responded. The second time, that's when somebody now actually bought something.
Yes.
Did you change the subject?
Yeah, we changed the subject. We changed the subject. We changed the content.
There were different emails.
Oh, so but it was still around the same thing. You just changed the email. Why I want you to check. Did the person who paid, did they open the first email? You don't have to check now, but I want you to let me know later. Because if they opened the first email, it might have been that they just didn't like the content in the first email, but the second email was a bit more interesting. Does that make sense? But sometimes it could be that they didn't like the subject of the first email, and that's how it kind of works. But again, this is why people are losing leads. Somebody is, okay, so that's not opened. Now let's talk about somebody who's opened, right? Someone's opened your email, and here's the problem. Sometimes opened email is because there's an autoresponder, so that's another annoying thing. You can't tell if they read it or if it's their autoresponder that said, oh, thank you for your email, and please, in 2026, stop using autoresponders. You don't need it. Because people would say, we'll get back to you in 48 hours, and they don't get back to you, so what's the point? Thank you for your inquiry, and then they don't even don't hear back from them. So when it's opened, here's a trick. One of the biggest tricks when someone opens, look at how soon they open the email. If they open the email immediately when you sent it, 9 times out of 10, it's an autoresponder. It's not the person. Does that make sense? Which means I would put those people under not opened. Do you get what I mean? Because they didn't actually open it. It was just the system. Muna, what do you want to say?
I just want to ask a question. Like, there are lots of people on the contact base. How can we track
The
these people at the time?
autoresponder.
Yeah, and the time they open, because it's not just one person or 5 persons you're looking at.
Yeah, I am sure that we can set up an automation for that. I'll tell you how I would do it. I would send out an email, and basically if email status is opened within a particular period of time, does that make sense? You can say, or you can do a wait, and anybody who opens after 2 minutes gets a tag. Anybody who opens before 2 minutes gets a separate tag. So you can find out who's open before 2 minutes. Does that make sense? So we can actually look at that, and we check, because again, that would help, because sometimes you're looking at 50 people opened, and you find out that out of that 50 people, 12 of them were autoresponders, and you're assuming, oh, this person's interested because they opened, but it wasn't even them, it was just there. And Muna, actually, the best way to do it is to look at the replies. Because if they opened and they replied immediately, you would see it's an autoresponder. It would tell you, da 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 da. Does that make sense? On Coldblue, there is actually a way that we can check someone's reply. So reply channel, and it can say, if the reply channel is, we're going to get back to you, the system would read the email for you. If it says we're going to get back to you, we can tag autoresponder, actually. So there's ways around it on the system that we can use if we understand what we're looking for and what we're trying to do. So we'll do this opened if it's auto responder.
Still re-email them.
No, yeah, put them back to not open, change subject, re-email. You guys following me?
Yes.
So we've got
Yeah.
opened, change subject, re-email. Then we've got, if it's an autoresponder, tag them as not opened, re-email. So I think we should even tag people. If it's not open, tag them as not opened. When they open, remove tag. Again, we don't have to create this right now, but this kind of system would make someone's email marketing a lot more robust than just sending it out, hoping for the best. Now, if they're opened and they don't click. So if it's open and it's clicked, it goes, ooh, ooh. If it's opened and then it's clicked, it goes straight down to this, right? That's fine. Opened, they clicked, it goes down to clicked. There's no need to follow up. You're not losing the lead, they clicked. Does that make sense? That means they're engaging with the lead magnet. If it's opened and they do not click, which is going to be this, what do you guys suggest? What do you think is wrong?
Maybe they're not seeing it.
No, they've opened
Or
it.
like the
We know they're not
content.
autoresponder. They opened it. So that means this person legitimately saw your email. It means the subject hit. They opened the email.
Well, if it's about
So, go on, Mona.
what if it's about maybe the email isn't addressing what they need at their pain point?
Exactly. It
Your
means that there's something wrong with the content. It means they looked at your email. They said, oh, this subject is interesting. They opened it and said, something just wasn't working for them. So the best thing we can do is send another email. Send a different email, same call to action, but maybe a different way to pitch it. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, we did this at the beginning of last year. Come and get your free marketing audit. Click here, and we'll send you a free marketing audit if you're interested, right? If someone opened it and didn't click it, maybe there's a way we pitched it, maybe there's a way we said it. So we'd send another email explaining how a free marketing audit helps somebody else build their business.
Mm.
So we might use a testimonial angle as an angle to kind of get them coming. So you have another angle where you have another pitch. I would recommend you have at least 3 pitches for your email marketing if you're going to do cold email. Your main pitch, pitch number 2, which is usually like a testimonial pitch. Pitch number 3, which highlights why you're helping. Does that make sense? So when re-email, pitch 2/3. So depending on what level you're at. So if you re-email, and again, that means this person is going to open. Then you go back to cold email. Did they open? Did they not click? Again, did they open? Does that make sense? Now, again, what happens is, this is what happens, guys. Most people's campaign for cold email is just this: send cold email. That's the campaign. All they do is send out the email and they leave it. That's it. And they wait for someone to book an appointment. When really and truly, they should actually have a robust process like this. Once it doesn't work, change the subject, re-email. If they open, did not click, send another pitch. If they click and they do not engage, it takes you, I would recommend they do this thing. So let's look at it again. Let's go back. Now, this is an interesting one. What if they click, but they don't download? Click, do not engage. It would just be the same thing, guys. You send them over. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Now, Muna, Precious Favor, what could be a reason why somebody might click and not engage? Can you guys think? There's one simple reason, well, one main reason. Ella,
I'm here, sir.
why might somebody click and not engage?
Maybe they're not interested.
No, they're interested. That's why they clicked. If
The
they weren't
content
interested, they
is
wouldn't have
not
clicked.
much engaging for them.
Perfect. The copy on your page or on your whatever just didn't sell it to them. They said, oh, free download. They clicked to your page. They went to the page and thought, oh, what's this? This is, nah, never mind. They changed their mind. Does that make sense? That usually happens if your page is bad or the copy on your page is not hitting. That means they saw the subject. They said, oh, they opened the link. Does that make sense? So clicked, engaged. If they clicked, did not engage, you do two things. You re-email them with a pitch, but first, revamp, review your lead magnet assets. So that's your page, your copy, whatever it is. Because why should somebody click? Because you know what that means? Let me tell you what happens. They saw your subject, they said, oh, this is really good, right? They thought, this is a really good idea. Fantastic. They opened your email, they read it and said, oh, wow, I want this. They clicked to get it. Does that make sense? That means they're more than interested. They clicked to get what you offered them. Then they said, oh, I don't like your design. Oh, I don't like, oh, what's this? Oh, often it's because it wasn't consistent. You said, come and come and join our webinar about, let's talk about one of our clients, about the communication blueprint. That's what you said in your email. They clicked it and then the webinar says, heal your marriage. And they're thinking, well, I'm not married. I thought it was about communication, and they left. Right? That's how it happens. That's why when we're editing, and this is an important point, when we're editing our funnels and our processes, I was saying it to Stella yesterday, we have to make sure, I remember Muna was there as well. Oh yeah, Precious, you were there. We have to make sure that the language is the same across the board. Remember, I'm redoing that video just to make sure the language in the video matches the language Stella put on the page. We can't
Matches the content.
ignore the fact that the language. Sorry, Precious?
I say the video matches the content on the page.
Yeah, because this is what will happen. Somebody would click our ads, somebody would go to that page, somebody would watch the video, and then suddenly they won't sign up. That means something is wrong. That means I said something something didn't work in the video because the ad said, ooh, the page said, ooh, the video said, mm-mm. But this is why we have to track the process and track what we're doing very, very well. So again, this looks a little bit complicated for some people. I appreciate that, but it's actually not that complicated. You sent out an email. If it's unsubscribed, end of it. There's nothing else you can do. If it's not an open, you change the subject, you re-email. You do that. Change subject. Wait 12 hours. I don't think there's anything wrong with sending somebody a new email every 12 hours. Wait 12 hours. If it's not open, change the subject, re-email. Wait 12 hours. If it's not open, again, if it's open, it's an autoresponder. Let's take it as not open, change the subject, re-email. We keep doing that until they do not open. Maybe they did not click. Re-email pitch 2 or pitch 3. Send the code email. Again. Within 12 hours. That's the recommended time frame. Don't wait too long. Within 12 hours, send the email again. If they click, but they did not engage with the lead magnet, review your lead magnet, repitch email again, and let's hope that this time they click and engage with the lead magnet. But again, Precious, Muna, Favor, and Stella, you can see that this is, most people just do this one thing. They just send out the cold email and they leave the rest to chance. Same thing with the ad. Most people just send out the ad, send out the automatic, and they just leave the rest to chance. What I want you guys to do is let's do one for. Oh, is this you, Favor? Favor, can you use capital W for workflow rather than just put workflow? And
Alright,
what I
sure.
need you to do is all the stuff that Ken Blue does extra. Put so when you go like this, so for example, qualifying course. Oh no, this is us. Why did you put? Oh, why did
Go
you put
high
that go high level
level.
there? That's not go high level. It's us that does it.
I didn't see
So it's not about the
Cambly.
software, it's about who does it. So I just want to
Okay.
highlight that I'm going to find a logo, Arcs Piece. Muna, Arcs Piece to create me a simple logo to represent client. So even if it's an icon of a person's body, and we'll put it here. So we'll let them know that this is what the client usually does. This is what the opt-in page does. Then the rest is going to be like what we add. So clients can see what we add to the process versus what they bring to the table. So they can also see the benefit of what we do even more. But for those who are watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching in the future, this is the stuff you have to be thinking about to ensure that you increase the odds of not losing leads. Guys, offline, we're going to do one for follow-ups for appointments. That's an important one as well. And then we need to do one for follow-up for proposals. When the proposal's sent, what's the best way to follow up the proposal when it's sent? That's another one. You put a proposal out there, how soon should we chase them up? So we've already got a process in place, but we want to document it down. Does that make sense? Oh, guys, you with me? You still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you for those of you who have joined us on the live, whether you joined us on TikTok or on YouTube. We appreciate your time. We hope that this has helped you to kind of think about how can I ensure I don't lose leads? A lot of these processes are because a lot of us, we put our stuff out there and we don't really give ourselves opportunities to follow up very well. If you notice, a lot of what we're doing is tricky to build, but it's automated, and that's how we grow. We can't try this without automating things. Imagine trying to do this manually, remembering to check if someone's opened the email and then remember to send them another email. That's gonna be a headache. The only thing on this part you might have to do manually is like change the subject. But what we can actually do is we can have multiple emails with same email with change subjects set aside and say if the person doesn't open, 24 hours later, send them this one. Like Favor, we can create workflows for this that would allow us to kind of do this for the client automatically. But there's nothing wrong with doing it manually to start with, and then once it starts working, you start automating it. I always say don't automate until it works manually. Otherwise, you're automating something that's broken already. Does that make sense? Muna, do you want to say? Sorry, guys, just for the record, Muna's quite shy, so I'm trying to get her to come out of her comfort zone before people are wondering why do I keep mentioning your name.
You announce this almost every time, sir.
I know. There's somebody who's going to be watching for the first time and be like, wow, why is he bullying Muna? But they need to understand that it's not bullying. We're trying to get everybody out of their comfort zone. Favor and Precious are quite confident. If I ask Favor now to come and say bye, Favor will come and give us an elaborate goodbye. So nobody else is having a problem with it. But anyway, I'm not going to do too much this week. I'm just going to say bye to you guys because we don't have time. We have to go live within Blue Circle now to teach the next set of things. But thank you guys for joining me. I know you guys would have been able to take some stuff away from this. And let me just cancel this live first and then we can talk about what we need to talk about ourselves when everybody's gone. But again, guys, until next week. Oh, guys should have told me I look so dark because the sun is not on my side. Look at me. So next week, guys, we're going to do this again. We do this every week. I don't even know what to talk about next week. I think we'll talk about data. We're talking about data that helps make decisions. So how to kind of make better decisions using the data that you have. So until next time, thank you for joining us and